was abused at home by my mother. Because I was the oldest, I was usually the target of anger. So it was like when I went to school, I was bullied and ridiculed. I had to find another outlet to heal, like make me feel like I wasn't in pain. And so that's when I started using with my friends. My life became unmanageable when I became homeless. I had nowhere to live. I would get myself together, get on my feet. I had children. And they were taken from me because my life became unmanageable again when I was unable to maintain my sobriety and stay off substances. I kept going back to substances as a way to relieve my pain. So when I returned to Dove House in 2015, I had just been released from jail on my own recognizance that morning by the judge, my probation judge. And I walked from the jail downtown to Dove House with the clothes on my back. I didn't have any other clothing, any other belongings, and just showed up. And when I opened the door and the person who was working the desk came up to me and they're like, "Oh my God, how are you?" I just felt safe. And they wrapped their arms around me and they pulled me in for a hug, and I just stood there, and I hadn't had a hug in over a year, I realized. I hadn't had a hug from someone in over a year because I had been using. And people don't hug you in active addiction. No one hugs you. No one loves you. No one gives you any kind of caring intimacy that doesn't exist. And it's the thing that made me want to stay. In that moment, it was exactly what I needed. Like, yes, this is exactly where I'm supposed to be at, with people who care about me, so that I can learn to care about myself, because that's the real problem here. In January, my wife and I purchased our first home, which has been a dream of mine ever since I saw my parents buy a home. I've always wanted to buy a house. To me, that is how you know you're an adult, is that you bought a house. And so it's been a dream, and at one point in time, it was a dream that I thought was not reachable. I never thought that I would own my own home. But in January, we made a purchase of our own home, and it is beautiful. It has a fenced-in front and backyard for my dogs. Dove House sees the potential in us before we ever see it ourselves. So when we walk into the doors of Dove House, we believe we have no potential. All we see for our future is what we've always gotten. And as soon as we stepped through the door, I believe that the women of Dove House saw something different. And they told it to us. They told us women what we could be.